Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and welcome back to my channel. I'm that Scottish nerd that brings you Pokemon trading card game content as well as gaming videos. So if any of that interests you, be sure to subscribe to my channel down below so that you can keep up to date when I next upload, as I upload multiple times a week. As you can see in today's video, we're taking a look at a little Christmassy themed deck that I've put together. All of the Pokemon in this deck are Christmas themed, whether that be Delibird here, which is of course the Santa Pokemon and delivery Pokemon. He's got his red and his big beard, just like Santa, and as he is the delivery Pokemon, we have an attack here called All the Presents. So this could be useful to flip a coin until we get tails, and for each heads we get to search our deck for a card, any card, and we have the potential to get infinite cards. Why wouldn't you want to use this attack? Moving on, we can see that we do have a selection of other Christmassy themed Pokemon. So while we do have Santa, we also have his reindeer. So we have Stantler here, which is a reindeer. It has enhanced horns. This is the main attack that we're going to be using, as it does a base of 20, but if we have a tool, we're going to be doing 60 more damage, and when that tool is muscle band, we're going to be able to do 100 damage. But if we have a look, we also have Arceus. Now you could see this in a couple of ways. This could be the Three Wise Men, or it could also be the spirits of the past, present and future, since we have, you know, Palkia and Dialga for space and time, and Arceus could be in there as maybe the future. You could look at it a couple of ways. I've gone for the Three Wise Men, and we're going to be wanting to use its Altered Creation GX attack to boost the attack damage and being able to take extra prizes with our Pokemon, since they are pretty weak, and ADP is going to be really helping us out here. We also have one other reindeer type Pokemon here. This is Sawsbuck, and it also has this nice ability, Seasonal Blessings, so it's very appropriate for the time of year, just allowing us to draw an extra card. And with that attack, Bounce, we can do 60 damage and also switch out. Could be useful, but mainly just to have it in here for an extra reindeer type Pokemon. We also have this Abomasnow, which is of course the Frost Tree Pokemon. This is going to be our Christmas tree for the deck. It has some nice stats on it, being able to use Hypno Hammer for 80, for 4 energy, and then putting our opponent to sleep. It's going to be useful for taking some nice knockouts, getting a damage boost with Muscle Band, and ADP is going to push it up to doing 130 damage, which is very useful. And also its ability, Blessings of the Forest, which again, very appropriate for the season, but also very useful because it's able to act like an Aqua Patch, attaching a water energy from our discard pile to one of our Pokemon, even attaching it to itself if we need to. And then to go on top of the tree, we do of course have a star here in Jirachi. We have a couple of different versions of Jirachi. We have Stellar Wish, which of course adds to the Christmas as well, because you always want to wish that you're going to get the presents that you ask for from Santa. This is going to be good for getting our consistency going. We also have an amazing rare Jirachi with Dreamy Revelation. Again, those kind of dreamy attacks that we're looking at with Jirachi. And for our supporter consistency from Jirachi, we do have Stellar Guidance, being able to use Jirachi here, and we do have a nice couple of combinations of Heart. All of the trainer cards that we have in the deck are just all about consistency, with Nest Ball, Ultra Ball, Maxed Out, and Research and N. The only oddball one here is Erica, and this is because it allows both players to draw 3 cards if they choose to. They can choose 1, or they can choose 2, or none if they really want to draw none, but there's no reason to not use this. And the reason behind this is because we want to share the Christmas spirit and be giving our opponent the gifts of drawing cards as well. So we've got 4 copies of Erica, and just drawing 3, drawing our deck and having a nice hand size is always valuable. So that's the deck, very seasonal, and I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, give it a like down below and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Let's go and see if we can get a couple of wins and spread some Christmas cheer. Alright, so we're starting out with Arceus, Dialga, Palkia, the 3 wise Pokemon themselves. Unfortunately, we don't have a double dragon energy to attach to them, but that's fine because I'm sure we can draw into it in these coming turns. We do have a water energy, which is fine, we can start with that, as well as a Ultra Ball to discard some of these cards and get ourselves another Pokemon into play. And I'll be looking to get Sawsbuck set up nice and early just to get some additional draw, and we can pass it over to my opponent. And we'll be looking to get a double dragon energy off this research. On the following turn, that would be ideal. It looks like my opponent has a very interesting deck. They have the Rillaboom V here, and they might be playing the V Max, but they also have the Venusaur on their bench, as well as the I forget the name of this guy, Verzian, that's it, Verzian EX. This stops special conditions when you have grass energy attached to your Pokemon. But the Rillaboom V here, getting out some additional basic Pokemon for my opponent, which is always good. We can attach this skateboard since we're going to research. Might as well make use of it. We do unfortunately miss the double dragon energy. We have one more draw here from Sawsbuck, hopefully with some hopefully give us some good seasonal blessings. Unfortunately that is not the case, so we'll have to settle with putting down our Stantler and attaching to it, passing over to my opponent, and all we can really do is cross our fingers and hope that we get some good seasonal blessings in the following turn and get into our double dragon energy. Just like any other ADP deck, you really want to use our altercation attack as quickly as possible, preferably on the first turn of the game if you go second, or the second turn if you're going first. We don't get that. Our opponent has a slow start themselves, just getting some Pokemon into play and not too much energy, just attaching one at a time. They're likely playing the Rillaboom to accelerate energy, and that's perfectly fine by me. So we don't want to attach any of this energy since we're going to be wanting to get double dragon. We'll just play N here. We missed double dragon again, and we'll go in with our Sawsbuck. Seasonal blessings, not drawing as anything. We'll put down our Jirachi just in case we can make use of that, as well as attaching a second energy onto Stantler and passing over to my opponent once again. My opponent has the evolution here. They'll be looking to get into the Rillaboom on their following turn so they can start accelerating energy. They also have a big Parasol on their Rillaboom V, as well as that Stadium to search out their Evolution Grass Pokemon. I'll get them the Rillaboom nice and set up, and they're going to be looking to start swinging. They do have the V Max here, so they can actually do a maximum of 270 damage, which is not enough to knock us out, so they're just going to hit us for 50 damage and settle with that. We finally get the double dragon, which is great. We can put down a second Stantler as well as use this Ultra Ball. I think we'll get ourselves a Snover down, as that's the other main attacker that we have in the deck. Delibird's unfortunately not a great attacker, as it does nothing if you flip tails on its damaging attack. So we like to avoid that and just use it in the early game if we need to get presents out of our deck. But we have Seasonal Blessings to draw our additional card here, and we could Ultimate Ray and start doing some damage, getting some energy into play. Certainly doing the Altered Creation would be great, but feels pretty slow at the moment, so I'm going to settle with using Ultimate Ray. Put Muscle Band on there and hit for 170, accelerating energy out of the deck, and that's going to allow us to start doing some bigger attacks in these following turns. We get our 3 water energy into play. We have a Sawsbuck ready to go. We're just missing the tool for it to do additional damage, and we can always go into a Abomasnow and put our opponent to sleep if we need to. My opponent will be looking to do that 270 damage to get a knockout on us. They do have the Rillaboom here to start accelerating energy, and that's going to be the key component of their deck here. They're really going to start getting a bunch of energy onto their board. And they're going to use that ability right here. It looks like they also have the Zarude here, which is one to watch out for as it heals all of the damage on one of their Pokemon when they attach energy with it. My opponent misses the attack here. I'm not sure why they didn't choose to get the knockout, but that's fine by me. That gives us another turn, and we could use Ultimate Ray here once again. Doing 170 to get the knockout would be pretty nice. We get an angry face from my opponent. That's not very nice. And we do see a concede, so maybe just a misclick from my opponent. Unfortunately, we're not able to spread a whole lot of Christmas cheer there because they gave us an angry face, but let's get into another match. Unfortunately here we are starting off with a Deerling, but my opponent hasn't done anything really with their turn, and we can actually use Find a Friend, which could be very useful, and getting down this Jirachi is going to be great for getting into some extra cards. My opponent didn't really do anything, so I don't really want to make use of either of these supporter cards. I think just an attachment to the active, as well as making use of these Ultra Balls to search out some Pokemon from our deck, possibly Stellar Wish for a Professor's Research. I think that's going to be our best course of action here. We do have one Double Dragon Energy prize, which is a bit unfortunate, but hey ho, we can make use of this. Putting down our Jirachi, as I say, and getting that Professor's Research. We also do have Find a Friend on this Deerling, so we can make use of that to get a Pokemon from our deck here. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And I could get ATP, but I kind of like getting the Sawsbuck here so that we can start doing some damage actually. Since we have the Grass Energy in hand, we can start hitting into this Keldeo for 120 damage since it's weak to Grass. And then switching into our Jirachi here, our amazing rare Jirachi, and that will allow us to start drawing some cards. So I like this option. It's not optimal since we don't have the ATP unfortunately, but it's definitely a good route to take. And you always have to take the opportunities when they arise to you. Drawing into another energy here is quite nice, and we can certainly make use of that. And I think we just want to attach our energy, as I say. We could potentially get rid of these cards since we don't really need them right now. Getting rid of the Delibird, unfortunately its attacks aren't the best. All the Presence is a nice attack when we're in the early stages of the game, but going into this mid to late point we're not going to be needing Delibird, so we'll just get rid of him. And we do get into an Abomasnow, so we'll put that down. That's pretty useful. We get an energy from him and put him onto him, as well as getting a Stantler, so we'll get that down into play just in case my opponent's playing something like N. We don't want to lose the Stantler. We also get an Ultra Ball. Don't really need to make use of that right now, so we'll just go ahead and bounce on out of here and go into this Jirachi. Most likely going to get knocked out from my opponent's Keldeo using its attack for 110 damage, but that's fine because there's not really anything else that I'd rather get knocked out here. I mean, we could sacrifice a Stantler, but again, it's a nice Pokemon to be attacking with, and I really want to be focusing on building up some good attackers here. There we go. Do have an attack from my opponent getting the knockout, but we have the Sawsbuck here, so we can go back into this and use Bounce again for the knockout. Since my opponent's not doing a whole lot, we can just keep bouncing this Sawsbuck over and over. And we'll make use of this Ultra Ball here. I think I want to get down a ADP, just in case we want to make use of that GX attack. Or even Ultimate Ray could be useful to get some extra energy into play, although we have drawn into quite a few at the moment. We also get that Abomasnow, which is going to be great for setting up an extra energy from our discard pile, and we can attach to the one that we have in play already, so we can get closer to getting the knockout there with that Abomasnow in the future. Using a Seasonal's Blessings here to draw an additional card, and we will bounce once again to get the knockout. 120 damage, nice and efficient. And I think this is the point where we will go into the Stantler. So if my opponent does have a response KO somehow anyway, then we're just giving up the Stantler rather than something else which could be more valuable to us. And of course, it does have that 2 retreat cost, so unfortunately we won't be able to retreat it if we get an escape board. But that's fine, because we can start attacking with it, or we can power up some of our other dudes on the bench. And it looks like my opponent is just going for the same strategy and powering up some more of their Pokemon. So before we play that Abomasnow, you just want to make sure that you have energy in the discard pile so that you can fully utilize Abomasnow. And definitely get the energy into play there. We'll attach to our active, and we'll use Seasonal's Blessings. And we don't get too much, we can just Ultra Ball these away. That's why I use Seasonal Blessings first there, because I didn't really want to get rid of everything, but certainly some of the things there we don't really need at that point in the game. Grabbing ourselves a Jirachi could be nice and useful, and we also don't want to get rid of this energy since we've made use of our Abomasnow, so I'd rather keep that around, and we'll just Versus Seeker for the Erica. And we'll just draw some cards here, nice 3 cards, and we'll get the double dragon so we can make use of that in these upcoming turns. My opponent also deciding if they want to draw cards. They do choose to draw 3 cards, and we can use Mystifying Horns here to confuse our opponent. Not the best attack, but it at least means that they're going to be prevented a little bit if they want to attack, because they will have to flip a coin to try and get through that confusion, or they will have to find a way to retreat or switch out. So we see a tag call here from my opponent. Interesting to see what tag team cards that they go after. We'll see a ADP as well as a Naganadon Guzzlord from my opponent. So they're primarily a dragon based deck, and they will be looking to use that Altered Creation GX attack. They do have the energy for it, but unfortunately they don't have a switch, which is very nice. We don't really have too many options here since we do have quite a big hand size building up. We'll just use Seasonal Blessings, draw into our second ADP, and we could start doing some damage here. This Lugia has 130 HP, so we could get the 2-hit knockout, and we do have the double dragon energy to respond when the Stantler goes down, so I think we're just going to settle with going for the 2-hit knockout. Of course, I forgot that we don't have a tool, so we're only doing 20 damage at the moment, which is a little unfortunate, but we're ready to retreat at least, since we do have a 2 retreat cost. My opponent is just attaching energy to their benched Pokemon at the moment anyway. So I'm going to attach this double dragon and go with the N, shuffle our hand into their deck as well as my opponent's hand, and just see what other cards we can come up with here. We do get the Muscle Band, so this could be nice, or we could go in and retreat and use Alter Creation if we want to do that instead. We would be losing 2 energy, and my opponent's not doing a whole lot, so I think I actually want to just keep attacking with the Stantler here. And we hit for 100 damage now, so unfortunately not getting the 2-hit knockout since my opponent has 10 HP remaining, but if they don't switch out or retreat during this turn, we will get an extra prize here on this Lugia. which is nice. My opponent continuing to attach to the ADP. They do get the switch, so we'll have to see if they go for Ultimate Ray or not, and they do, not bothering with the Alter Creation. It's an interesting move from my opponent, and we could respond on them with an Ultimate Ray of our own, or we could go in with something else like our Sawsbuck or even a Abomasnow. Also, using Alter Creation is certainly an option and something to consider for sure. And I think in order to stay in this game, I think we're going to go and make use of Alter Creation. I mean, we only have to get 2 more knockouts, but if we take out a tag team, we're going to be taking all 4 prize cards. So I think Alter Creation here is going to be a nice option for us. We'll use Erica here to draw 3 cards, and you see the amount of draw potential that we have in our deck. We're already down to 10 cards remaining. And we have Seasonal Blessing, drawing another Nest Ball, nothing too useful there, so we'll just GX attack. My opponent will likely Ultimate Ray into us, which is fine by me. Although they are slightly ahead in terms of the way that their board is set up. I mean, we have the same prizes, but as you see here, my opponent is playing the Lysander, which we are not. So we may end up losing this one. But hey, at least we've been able to spread some Christmas cheer. And hopefully you guys have enjoyed seeing this deck in action, and hopefully inspired you guys to try something similar out. So they're using Ultimate Ray here to take out our Jirachi and take 2 prizes for themselves, as well as set up some other attackers. Not that they really need them at the moment, but hey, if that's what they want to go for, that's up to them. Since we don't have the guaranteed energy, I mean, we have a 2 retreat cost on this, so again we'd have to be giving up an energy. I think we'll just have to promote the ADP and hope that they can't knock it out. We do have the Muscle Band, so we would go up to doing 200 damage here, but I would prefer to keep it for something like a Stantler or a Abomasnow, I think. We'll make use of Seasonal Blessings, draw an additional card. Again, nothing too useful. So I will just use the Ultimate Ray for that 180 damage. We only have 1 energy left in deck, unfortunately, and I think that has to go into the Abomasnow, doesn't it? Really make sure that we can get an attack in with Abomasnow. So my opponent draws a card here. They have the Pokemon Center Lady, healing 60 damage from their ADP. Really trying to protect that so that we don't get the knockout and win the game there. And they're also building up this Palkia GX on their bench. It has a Hydro Pressure attack, which does more damage for the energy attached to it. So they might be looking to use that, or here we have a Tornadus GX, and that's doing a total of 140 damage, but it discards all of our energy, unfortunately. And that's going to be really bad for us because we don't have any Double Dragon energy at the moment. We can use Nest Ball to see if we have any left in deck. We have 2 at least, so we have potential to draw into them. And it's definitely something that we could consider, but I mean, at what cost? Because we don't really have any good attackers. I think we're going to have to use Seasonal Blessings. At least we can retreat if we get into this and go in and attack with something else. That's going to be our only option, it looks like. We'll attach these 2, we'll retreat into the Abomasnow and hopefully leave my opponent asleep. We'll attach the Muscle Band for good measure as well. Doing that 130 damage and putting my opponent to sleep. They do stay asleep. So all we could do now is cross our fingers and hope that they don't have a switch card. They were able to switch out the last time that we affected them as a special condition when we confused that Lugia. So hopefully they don't have any more switch cards in their hand. but not feeling too confident right now. And of course, if they do have that, they have the Palkia in the background there that they can promote, or even the Naganadel and Guzzlord. Luckily they don't have it, and they pass it back over to us. So we get the double dragon. It is our last double dragon, unfortunately, so I don't think we have any energy left. We might be able to take some from prizes, but like I say, we're almost at the point of winning if we take any prizes here. So there's not too much point in attaching energy. Might as well attach it to the ADP that we have in play. And we really don't want to be drawing cards, since we're almost at the point of decking out. We'll just use our Abomasnow here to take the knockout and take 3 prize cards on this Tornadus. We get into a Water Energy, a Double Dragon, and a Jirachi, so we do still have potential to hit with ATP, and that could be something that could be useful for us. My opponent's bringing up the Naganadel and Guzzlord. So they've already used their GX attack. The main attack that they're going to be using here is for 180, and that's going to be getting the knockout. And all we have left is our Sawsbuck or ADP. If we promote ADP, our opponent wins, and if we promote Sawsbuck and hit for 120, then my opponent wins as well. So there's unfortunately nothing much that we can do here. Perhaps we should have put down our other ADP and attacked with that instead. But seeing as there's not too much we can do, we'll just have to hit them for the 180 damage. Go over to my opponent and they will unfortunately win this game. It was pretty close, seeing as we got that Alter Creation GX attack off and we're able to take some extra prizes, going down to 1 prize card on both sides. My opponent choosing to go for the Lysander here for some reason, even though they have the knockout already on my active. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a like down below and leave a comment on what you thought of this deck if you enjoyed it. I certainly found it fun to make up this deck. They're also choosing to BM us here by healing themselves 60 damage and discarding a Ultra Beast, but they already have the match already wrapped up since they had 1 prize card remaining, as I said. So that'll be it for the match. Unfortunately, our Christmassy themed deck wasn't able to get out any victories. Let me know if you guys are any better with the deck and get some good Christmas cheer spread around, because that's what the point of the deck is all about anyway. And I'll see you guys in the next video.